Today, the world has shifted. As the sun rose, the air was thick with news, unexpected, grave, and uncertain. The supreme leader of Iran has fallen, struck down by a US-led attack. The order was given by a single president, carried out in hours, and echoed around the world. It was the largest airstrike our nation has launched in a generation, aimed at command centers, missiles, and secret halls, intended, declared our leaders, to prevent nuclear war before it could begin. Picture the streets of Tehran at dawn, smoke rising from damaged towers as crowds gather in shock, some in anguish, some uncertain, some grasping for hope. Flags hang low. Nearby in Washington, the halls of Congress are alive with debate. Some voices call the strike decisive, others warn of rashness and too much power in one hand. The president stands before television cameras. He claims freedom has turned a corner, that danger is obliterated. Yet even as those words echo, our allies waver, the markets tremble, and new risks grow like a storm on the horizon. But what then is our duty in this moment of sudden force and great uncertainty? Who should hold the power to decide matters of war and peace? This question is not as old as the Republic itself, but as old as government, as old as man. Our Constitution sets down the guardrails. The President is Commander-in-Chief, yet the Congress alone declares war. These are not idle phrases. They are choices made by a free people so that hasty action or ambition does not risk the fate of all. Consider a scene in a quiet American town. Citizens gathered in the square, reading the morning's headlines, feeling both pride and unease. A father lays his work aside. A mother looks to the horizon, thinking of sons in uniform. Just last night, these families trusted that peace held overseas. This morning, the world is changed, and no man knows what follows. It is natural to feel a swell of pride when foes fall and our arms prove strong. Yet history warns us, nations that exalt their strength above their law invite a shadow that cannot be banished by force alone. Still, there is a contradiction at the heart of our times. Danger does not wait for long debate, yet unchecked power leads to peril. This is a gap every republic must cross. If the law is ignored in the name of safety, what follows for the republic? Let us look back. In the earliest days, when foes circled us and the future was uncertain, I led soldiers who wanted quick vengeance, swift action, and the certainty of victory. Yet I learned, sometimes from bitter cost, that the strength of a free nation does not lie in the speed of its sword, but in the unity, calm, and lawful spirit of its people. Today, some say delay is deadly. Others say the law's chain must hold. The wisdom is in neither alone, but in balance. Think of Congress as a solemn jury, each member charged with grave responsibility, not as a party, but as a steward. Picture their faces as they read the Constitution by candlelight, the letter of the law shining brighter than any ambition or fear. But can any one man be trusted alone with the power of war? That is the riddle the founders faced, and the question that rings in our ears today. This is not a question of party, nor of pride. It is a test of the very foundation of our freedom. Now tension rises not only in Tehran. There crowds mourn and protest, and the armies of the revolution guard the streets, unsure whom to obey as power fractures. In the oil fields, the price of energy surges. On schoolyards, children trace the paths of jets overhead and ask why the world feels heavier. Imagine a soldier aboard a US ship looking westward toward home, wondering not just what comes next, but whether the home he defends honors the rules that kept it safe for generations. In Bahrain and Qatar, sirens sound before dawn. Allies duck for shelter. At home, families gather around kitchen tables with radios burning bright. Some pray for peace, some demand swift action, some question who decides, a single man or all the people's voice. But what if fear drives division here at home? There is a risk now that is greater than any missile. The risk that Americans, in fear or pride, begin to see opponents not as fellow citizens, but as enemies. Imagine a town hall filled with voices rising. Some call for unity, some accuse others of weakness. The heat of the moment grows, and soon the real enemy, division, finds room to plant its roots. Still, there is one thing we have not yet considered. What anchors a republic in a storm of dispute when laws tremble and passions rise? Is it the steel of armies, the wisdom of leaders, or the steady heart of the people? The steady heart of the people, their wisdom, their resolve, is the final anchor of a republic in turmoil. Picture that judge, alone in her chamber, the Constitution spread before her like a lantern in the night. The world outside stirs with noise, marches in the street, shouting on the radio, tempers flaring in families and among friends. But she reads on, careful, slow, seeking in every word the heartbeat of a nation, built not just on power, but on principle. So too, in every simple home, in every ordinary hand, the future is decided. Men gather in the coffee shop, their faces furrowed. Women circle at the market, voices low, each weighing her own worry for what is right and what is fair. Children walk to school holding tight to their parents for comfort, sensing the weighty mood, but not yet knowing its cause. Even now, the machinery of ordinary life grinds on. Bakers knead bread, nurses tend the weak, farmers ready the ground for summer's seed. This is the unseen strength of a republic, that in every test it is the habits of millions, not just the choice of one, by which freedom stands or falls. But what is required of us in such a moment? Is it enough to place trust in a distant leader, or must every citizen awaken to their duty? Here lies the next gap, a question suspended in the air. If power is concentrated in one hand, does the rest of the nation risk learning helplessness? To answer, we must look hard at our own reflection. The path of freedom is never easy, and it is never finished. It asks steadiness when the world storms. It asks patience when fear tempts haste. It asks each of us, whatever our rank, our vote, our faith, to put country before party, principle before pride, and law before mere might. Think of a school teacher standing before her class the morning after the bombs fell, children's faces searching hers for some root of hope or explanation. She sets aside the lesson plan and instead speaks quietly of past conflicts, of how America sought always, where possible, the path of law and reason, not only strength. Imagine, too, a group of veterans at the edge of a city park, gathered round the flag by sunrise. They salute, not to any one president or party, but to the principle that has guided every true American action, that power must answer to the people and always respect the chain of law. And still, as dark as the hour seems, there are guiding lights we must recall. The Republic has weathered storms before. When passions ran hot and foreign threats loomed, it was honest debate, not bluster, that steered us. Our greatest victories were not won by men unbound, but by leaders who humbled themselves before the people's will, and by citizens who insisted that in this free nation, even the highest office bends to the law. Here the third gap arises, a final challenge in the shape of a warning. What happens if the people become mere watchers, not doers, in their own government? Let us not drift into such complacency. Let no citizen surrender their part in this great work, nor forget what is at stake. Not all news is black and white, nor all danger plain to see. Yet always, always, America's strength is her unity. It is the will to see each other, across our doubts and our differences, not as threats but as partners, as part of the same shared hope. Now, as Congress returns to session, picture that chamber, men and women bent close over the written word, the eyes of the nation upon them. The choices they make will echo for a generation. Will they keep faith with the restraints set down by those who came before? Will they hold both courage and caution in measure, never letting one crush the other? As the president walks alone in the garden at night, the lanterns dim, the doors behind him heavy, does he feel the weight of the nation's hope and the boundaries too, which even the highest must not cross? These questions swell in every household, every place of worship, every shop, every field. They are not questions for leaders alone, but for every free citizen. Let none be swept away by fear or anger, for anger is a poor lamp, and fear is a broken mirror. Instead, let all seek clarity, choosing words that heal, not wound, action that binds, not breaks. America endures not for lack of storms, but by meeting each storm with the discipline of law, the practice of restraint, and the grace to see common purpose through fog and clash. So what must we do hand in hand? We remember, the Republic can be saved. What is needed now is the patient courage of reason, the strength to ask hard questions as allies, the humility to wait for each step to bear the people's true consent. We insist that Congress be heard, that the courts stand their watch, that the press remain free, and that facts, not fears, guide our path. We call on leaders to justify their choices, not with slogans or boast, but with reasoned cause and open debate. And above all, we resist the slide into division, remembering with solemn pride that what holds us together is stronger than what would drive us apart. For history has seen this before. Unchecked power leads first to swiftness, then to error, then, slowly, to the end of freedom itself. This is the test of our hour, not to shy from danger, nor to grasp at safety by surrendering the heart of the law, but to choose together a way that is worthy of the name American. As dusk falls and the world waits, picture again that quiet home. Parents, children, neighbors, sitting together, lamps burning, the Constitution open on the table. Their faces show courage, even as they worry. Their voices stay calm, even as the world presses loud. In that scene, in such steady grace, the Republic is born anew, one citizen, one vote, one promise at a time. Let us then be not just witnesses, but participants. Let our watchfulness be steady, our speech measured, our judgment slow and sure. For in doing so, we preserve not just peace, but freedom. And we set an example to the world that even now, a people can govern themselves in storm and doubt. Do you believe, as I do, that our unity, our wisdom, and our fidelity to law remain stronger than any danger the world can muster? Will you, in this trying hour, stand not behind a single leader but beside your fellow citizens, so that this Republic, so lately tested, may yet prove her true strength to history and to those who will come after? The day awaits your answer.